welcome back. It is the Rusty Humphries Show, 640 WGST. New at 92.3 FM. Well, I'd like to fix America. You want to fix America? Let's fix America together. We have a guy that's actually written a book about it. David Duley is his name. You live right here in Atlanta, don't you, David?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well,
Thanks.
welcome to the Rusty Humphries Show, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good. So I can fix America, 52 common sense ways you can make the United States great again. He was exclamated here, so I want to make sure people know. What gave you the idea for the book?
Well, Rusty, I actually grew up in a town, Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
So
you and your pal Michael Moore.
Me and my pal Michael Moore.
Did you guys hang out a lot? Did you go eat a lot of pizzas? No, you didn't eat a lot of pizzas?
We do like the same pizza place, but
we
haven't run into each other.
Obviously, he's been there a lot more than you.
That's what I've heard. But I wrote it because I actually lived through a time in Flint, which has actually gotten worse, but the consequences are real for bad choices and bad decisions. And so I felt like I was watching a gigantic Flint happen.
Okay.
And so I wanted to write a book to help people fix what's
All right,
wrong.
what did you see in Flint that you're worried about happening here today?
Taking ownership of the issues.
Okay.
Each person trying to figure out, instead of casting blame or playing a victim card, really trying to find actionable items that they can do in their individual life to help stabilize things and make things
Because
better.
what, in Flint, people didn't take any responsibilities?
Well, there was just a lot of blame game going on.
Okay.
There was a lot of people saying it's this person's responsibility to provide me a job. It's this person's responsibility to provide me an education, instead of actually taking ownership.
Was that
of
the
those
car?
ideas.
It was the car company's job to give them a job?
It was the car company's job to give them a job, and just because they showed up in Flint, Michigan, they were entitled to that job.
Right.
And unfortunately, that didn't pan out too well, as Michael Moore has eloquently documented.
Although he blames everybody else except for
Right.
the workers that have to take no responsibility, or the unions didn't take any responsibility in that movie.
And that is the part of the story that I'm here to tell. That it's actually everyone's fault. And my book is just about doing better and being better, and taking simple changes in our behavior and decision making every day to fix America.
All right, what would you want the union guys to do differently? I mean, they're coming in, they're trying to do a job, they want to feed their family. I don't blame them for that.
Yep.
What should they have done differently?
Well, take for example, early 80s in Flint, Michigan, when General Motors really acknowledged the Japanese auto threat, right? The threat to their market share. They wanted to add efficiencies to a lot of the assembly lines by introducing things called robotics, right?
Okay.
But union contracts were based on output. 53 engines roll off every 8 hours. And so they went to the unions and said, hey, we want to make our system more efficient. We think we can actually produce 78 engines in the same amount of time. And they're like, no, you have to pay us time and a half after everything after 52.
But you're not doing the work. We got a robot doing it for you, right?
Right, but everyone keeps their job. Everyone works the same amount of time. But there wasn't the understanding of the threat that the Japanese automaker was to the American.
But did the regular guy get that, or was this just the regular worker, did they understand that, or did they just follow blindly what the union guys tell them?
That's a great question. I think
That's why I asked.
they were
I'm
probably
a professional. This is what I do. Sorry.
You're doing great. You're doing great. They probably drank the Kool-Aid a lot. They probably didn't do the work to find the truth in the message of what was really going on.
All right, the book is called I Can Fix America, 52 Common Sense Ways That You Can Make the United States Great Again. Okay, now this isn't just about cars in Flint, Michigan.
No.
This is for everybody. What are the basic things, the basic common sense things that we can do?
Let's take some that apply to Atlanta directly. Atlanta in the past 12 months has had one of the worst housing markets in the nation.
Okay.
I live in a neighborhood that has tons of foreclosures.
Okay.
And so what I want to do, and in my neighborhood this is what I do, when I see a foreclosure that a bank doesn't take care of, I go mow the yard.
No, you don't. Come on. You just made that up.
I've even got pictures.
Oh, come on. Hey, everybody, I got an idea. Let's go mow the lawn of that closed house. Really?
Absolutely. But this is the
All right,
type of
you're a better
stuff
man than me. All right, I said that I could probably do 30, not 52 of them. There's one I'm out.
Well, you can pass
I
on
wouldn't
that
even,
one.
I wouldn't even mow my own lawn. That's why I get a company to do that. So.
Well, you can actually pay that company to maybe do it. Then you get it done.
And there's another thing I'm not going to do. But okay, you really do that.
Absolutely.
Wow. Why?
Because it will help stabilize my own property value. If that house doesn't sell for bare market pricing, if I can make it have a better curb appeal, get a couple $1,000 more, it helps stabilize my home home value.
And then the next thing, you don't do anything, somebody throws a rock in it, and pretty soon it's a crack house, right?
Exactly right. And I live in the neighborhood. I'm taking ownership of the way the neighborhood works, which I think we need to take ownership of our problems.
Although, if you allow it to be a crack house, you can score some sweet deals there. Just an idea.
It depends on how my book sells.
Okay.
So.
You might need it if it doesn't go well. No, I'm kidding. David Duley is here on the Rusty Humphries Show. I Can Fix America. Okay, so that's one you do. You mow the lawn. Give me another good one.
Okay.
See if I'll do them.
Okay, this is a good one. I know you'll love to do this because you want to help education. How about in the Atlanta school system, which has been riddled with turmoil probably in the past year? Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay.
But not just here, though. It's everywhere.
It's
right?
everywhere. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. And so we always complain about the educational system, but what are we going to do about it, even if we don't have a child in the school? So let's walk.
Bitch and moan.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of that option, let's go and walk down to the school and ask the school principal, hey, can I adopt a teacher to make sure that they have the resources to do their job? My brother's a teacher in Michigan, and he has to pay for all sorts of school supplies.
I think that's a great idea, but first what we should do is put the teachers' pictures online. And then if there's some really hot ones, then I will go and adopt a number of them just because I want to help.
Well,
I figured out a way that I can make a difference.
Hotforteacher.com.
There you go. It's just an idea. But now would the schools, would the principals think, oh, he's trying to do what I just suggested? Are they, worried about nefarious things going on?
Well, I think we can't live in a world without risk, right? There's always some bad people out there, but I think people are generally good intentioned, and so I think you can go down there, offer your services, say, hey, I'm here to help financially or with my time to help the children excel. And actually, in my book, I said if the principal denies that request, try to figure out a way to do it anyways. Pull the teacher aside and say, hey, can I help you out?
Come here.
Hey.
Come here. I can commit to live my life without credit card debt. Is that big of a deal still?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
I mean, because I know a couple years ago they cut everybody's credit limit.
But from what I was just reading, credit card debt is actually ratcheting up again. I think they call it recharging.
Really? Well, that's not very nice.
That's not good. And so we have maybe optimism in consumer spending, but we don't talk a lot about the debt.
That people are spending, they still don't have the money for it.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
I can encourage lawmakers to obey the rule of law and to address immigration reform in order to speed up the process of getting productive citizens into the workforce and contributing to the tax base. But unfortunately, we have a lot of lawmakers that don't want to obey the rule of law, including the President of the United States.
There are a lot of examples of that out there. And so parts of my book, very few parts, but that being one of them, is just participating in understanding the role of government. How can we influence common sense solutions to some of our major problems? Some of them, certainly government has a role, and immigration is one of those. And we need to participate. We need to encourage them to start making the tough choices to try to figure out a way to get the immigration issue resolved.
And one way you can do it is by doing number 19. I can vote in every election prior to voting. Now, see, this is the important part here.
Yes.
Because the Democrats want that. I can vote in every election, period.
That's right. But
now I want to continue, right, this is what it should be more of. Prior to voting, I can commit to being educated about the candidates and issues to ensure that I'm judging them based on the content of their character and their intentions. See, I like that.
Yeah.
And I still believe that we should have a thing. Well, here's my idea for voting. Tell me what you think. See if this is something we can do. I think if we can have an ATM machine in every convenience store around the world, we make voting booths like ATM machines. You put in your card, you type in your PIN number, but then 10 random questions. And if you get 5 wrong, it pops up and says, sorry, too stupid to vote, and you're out. You got at least, I'm not talking tough ones, I'm talking, who's the mayor?
How many states?
Who's the governor? How many states? Thank you very much. It's stuff that if you're too stupid, you don't belong, wasted my, canceling out my vote. We should be doing stuff like that, but you're right. We need to have people that are going to pay attention, not just vote a way that someone tells them to.
That's exactly right.
All right.
Exactly right.
You have a website for this thing?
Actually, it's icanfixamerica.com. Can you believe in the history of politics and internet? No politician ever bought that website.
Interesting. I like that. Well, the book looks great. This is not something that's difficult to read and great for kids, I'm guessing, too, right?
Absolutely. It's actually
a
made
good family
for everyone.
book.
It's simple, bite-sized, actionable items. In a year that's going to be a lot of division, a lot of controversy, a lot of blame game and who's right and wrong, this actually provides real-life solutions that we can take action on every day right now. So you can get it on Amazon.com or go to my website, iCanFixAmerica.com.
I'm going to tell you, my 11-year-old just called me about 2 hours ago and said, Daddy, I want to learn more about politics and write a paper. And this is something we're going to read this together because it's a great book.
Well, thank you. I hope all your listeners do the same.
David Duley is his name. Again, iCanFixAmerica.com or Amazon.com. Go get the book. It looks like a great one. Thank you, David. I appreciate it.
It's great being here with you.